How rude. There are people sitting directly in front of George Brendler over there at George Brendler Field. Of course, that's just a cutout, so I don't think he has a camera hidden behind that. It's the 11th day of the 11th month, 2020, and we're here at the George Brendler Field for Willsboro against Chazy for the right to advance to the championship game of their tournament this year, season-ending tournament. We'll be turning the microphone over to Mr. Joey Trombley from the radio station WIRY, and we'll be trying to cover most of the game. We're going to be leaving here. It's a 3 o'clock start. We're going to be leaving here and going to northeastern Clinton. So if it's not obvious who won when we leave here, we'll pass along that information at the end of the video.
And we're back at the George Brendler Field, and Jamie Labarge looks at the goaltenders, making sure everybody's ready, and the game is on. And the ball is controlled by Willsboro. It is Jenna Ford. She sends the ball to the near sideline over to Gabby Marble. Marble has it knocked away by Willow Hers. Hers gives it up to McAuliffe. McAuliffe sends the ball forward, but it's intercepted by number 11, Finelease. Finelease onto the feet of Lobdell. Lobdell tries to one-time it over to Nolette, but it's pushed back onto the feet of Finelease of Willsboro. Lobdell sends it to the middle of the field, and it's picked up by number 17, Emma Smith. Smith trying to send the ball up over to Willow Hers. Hers has it knocked away, and the ball sent toward the 18-yard line by Finelease. Back there is Mackenzie Chapman. She sends the ball forward, but it goes off of Lobdell, and now it's picked up by McAuliffe. McAuliffe with some speed crosses midfield, gets to the open ball over to Celine Juno. Juno now comes to the near sideline, on to the streaking Catherine Langlois. Langlois working her way down toward the end line, gets the ball sent across, and scores! It goes through the hands of Abby Bruno, and there to touch it in was Celine Juno, and within 56 seconds, Chazy jumps on top 1-0. That is a Juno goal from Langlois, and at the 56-second mark, it is Chazy 1, Willsboro 0. And on the first offensive run, Chazy, it was like watching a practice. They just came down. It was a pass, and then a score. So great play by the Eagles, and quickly they take the advantage. And Chapman with the ball goes off to the far side. She gets it to the feet of Lucas. Lucas has it taken away, and it's picked up by Marble. And Marble sends the ball forward back into the defensive zone. Stepping up is McDougall. She sends it toward midfield, controlled by the Eagles. And it goes on to the feet of McLennan. McLennan goes up trying to find Juno, goes too far ahead of her, onto the feet of Berto. Berto comes to the near sideline, and it's a battle with Marble and Juno. Juno battling Marble. Marble wins that battle, sends it to the open space, and it's picked up by Nolette. Nolette goes to the near sideline, but Harvey is there for Chazy, gets it back up over to Gagno. Gagno switches fields, trying to get it onto the feet of McLennan. McLennan has it taken away. Now it's picked up by Jenna Ford, number 13. Chapman steps up. She sends the ball out of bounds. Far sideline. Willsboro going from right to left, and they will be throwing halfway into the Chazy defensive zone, halfway in for the offensive zone for Willsboro, far side. Ball comes into play. Goes off a Chazy player, and it's picked up by Emma Smith. Smith has some room. She'll try to come to the near sideline. She does. She's trying to find Langlois, but stepping up defensively was Bordeaux. Bordeaux switches fields, goes to the far sideline, finding the feet of Marble. Marble now working her way down the line, and it's picked up by McLennan, but it goes past Marble, out of bounds. Throw in for Chazy. 37-22 left in the first half, just starting. But if you're just joining us, it was Chazy at the 56-second mark scoring the first goal. It was Juno from Langlois. Chazy will get the throw in. It was knocked out of bounds. It is in play, and it goes on to the feet of Juno. Juno outside her foot, trying to find McAuliffe. McAuliffe just taps it once, now takes it to the outside, does a spin over, does a nice job getting by the defense. It's McAuliffe. She takes it to the middle of the field. She now sends it toward the 18, trying to find Langlois. Stepping up from distance with a shot was number 2, Hers has it deflected from the defense of Willsboro outside the 18, going to the outside, and it's picked up by Marble. Marble working her way down. She's defended by McLennan. She can't control it, and it goes out of bounds on the sideline. So it will be a throw-in for Chazy, and the ball will come into play, and it goes on to Juno. Juno with the ball, sends it forward, but nobody there for Chazy. It's picked up by Berto. She keeps it on the ground, and Emma Smith takes it for Chazy. She's in the offensive zone. She sends the ball forward, top of the key. Smith trying to find Juno inside the 18, and it's cleared out by the defense. And back there for Chazy is McLennan. McLennan has the ball taken away from her. It's picked up by Marble. Marble sends it forward, trying to find Nolette. And back there is Harvey. Harvey sends the ball into the offensive zone to Langlois. Langlois looking to control. Has it knocked away by Laudell. Goes back over to Hers. Hers heads the ball down on the ground. It goes out onto Langlois. Langlois on the near sideline working her way down. Working her way toward the end line. Now we'll send it across. It deflects off of Bordeaux, off to the end line, and we have our first corner kick, and that will go to Chazy. So for Chazy, it will be Hadley Lucas taking the corner kick for the Lady Eagles. Chazy is going from left to right, so it's the near post that Hadley Lucas will take this corner kick, and it will be a traditional corner kick. There's nobody back for Chazy for a short corner kick, and Lucas sends the ball into the box, and that lands in the ground. It's kind of just bouncing around, and it's knocked off the end line, so another corner kick. So Willsboro does a good job defending after it hit the ground, and any coach will tell you they don't want the ball hitting the ground on a corner kick. But Willsboro did a good job clearing it out. So another corner kick for Chazy. It will be the second one for them this game, and it will be Hadley Lucas again. We'll try the corner kick for Chazy. They're going again from left to right. Hadley Lucas with the kick. It's a short kick. Goes off of McAuliffe to Hers. Hers battling for the ball. Has it taken away by Jenna Ford. Ford working her way forward. Sends a long kick. She's trying to find Nolette. Goes off of Nolette, but picked up by Harvey. And Harvey quickly sends it back to Langlois into the defensive zone of Willsboro. Langlois has it knocked away. It's picked up by McAuliffe. She switches fields. She gets it over to McLennan. McLennan gives it to Juno. Juno outside the 18. Goes to the outside trying to find Lucas. But back there defensively is Sawicka. And Sawicka trying to clear it out. Taken away by Lucas. Lucas being challenged by Sawicka. Pushes it back to Juno. She chips it up inside the 18. Trying to find McAuliffe. McAuliffe rips a shot just outside the 18 wide of the net. So good pressure by the Lady Eagles. Willsboro withstands that offensive rush by the Eagles. We're at 33-40, Chazy leading 1-0 in this fall tournament semifinal game at the George Brendler Field. Ball is to Gagno at midfield. She sends the ball up onto the feet of McLennan. McLennan has some space. She tries to switch fields. She's trying to find Willow Hers. Hers with the ball will turn. Will send the ball forward trying to find Langlois, but it goes off of Berto. Berto comes to the near sideline, gets it onto the feet of Laudell. Laudell pushes it up over to Feinleis. Feinleis to Ford. Ford pushes it back to Feinleis. Some nice movement there, some nice passing into the open space. Back there is Chapman, but coming off the line for Chazy is their goalie is for Chazy. It is not Samantha Gagno. She is out in the field. It is Annika Lazardi comes off the line, and she sends the ball up toward midfield. Back there is Langlois. She can't get there in time. It's picked up by Berto. Berto has it knocked away by Hers. Hers being challenged by Laudell. It goes off of Hers, so a throw-in for Willsboro. They're going from right to left. They're about halfway into Chazy territory, near sideline. Throw-in by Feinleis. Feinleis sends the ball up, picked up by Chapman. Chapman sends the ball to the near sideline over to Langlois. Langlois loses the ball up to Laudell. Laudell trying to find Nolette, and it's picked up by Harrison. Shot from distance, and it goes wide of the net. So a nice opportunity for Willsboro. Did some nice passing, but the shot went wide of the net, so it'll be a goal kick for Chazy. It was Gabby Marble lets the shot rip, but it was wide of the net. 31-51 left in the first half. Chazy 1, Willsboro 0. We're at the George Brendler Field. No rain. It's overcast, but a beautiful day for November. And there's wind from the west. And the ball is controlled by Smith. Smith keeps it on the ground, gets it onto the feet of Juno. Juno will control. She one times it to McCullough. McCullough has it knocked away by Crownshield, but it goes to Hers. Hers gives the ball up to number 11. Finally, she knocks it back toward midfield. Hers will push it back defensively to Harvey. Harvey chips it back up to Hers. Hers trying to control. Hers cuts it to the inside. Hers looking to switch field. She goes to the far side and gets it onto the feet of McLennan. McLennan now at midfield gets it to Smith. Smith working her way forward. Smith now sending the ball forward, trying to find Juno. Goes two past Juno onto Bertle's foot. She sends it up and hits the feet of Lobdell. Lobdell comes from the other side, but it's Harvey of Chazy. She gets to the ball. She's trying to find Juno. She finds Juno down the field. It's Juno working her way down, keeping it on the ground, trying to find Langlois. It deflects off of the foot of Berto. So a deep throw in for Chazy. They're going from left to right here at the George Brendler Field. Deep throw in for Chazy. Langlois will take the throw in with 30 minutes and 33 seconds left in the first half. Chazy 1, Willsboro nothing. Ball comes in. It deflects off of Juno onto the feet of Finley. She goes up to the open field. Nobody there for Willsboro, and it is Gagno. Gagno for Chazy. Working her way up, Samantha Gagno keeps it on the ground, gets it to McAuliffe. McAuliffe with the ball, turns, looking around, trying to find somebody coming over to defend with Crowningshield. She sends a long kick over everybody's head, trying to find Langlois. Langlois does a nice job keeping it off the end line, sends it toward the net, but it was knocked off the end line by Kaylee Berto. So we're going to have another corner kick for Chazy. It'll be the third corner kick here in the first half for Chazy. We're under the 30-minute mark. And it will be Hadley Lucas taking the third corner kick here in the first half, as she has done so far in the first half. She has taken all the corner kicks for Chazy. Lucas is letting her players set up. And the ball is in play. It's lofted toward the net. It's headed up high in the air by the defense. Off the line is the goalie. She's trying to get it. And the whistle blows. I guess they're calling probably dangerous play with goalie on the ground. And the ball will go to Willsboro. Bruno knocked it away, was trying to get to the ball, and they blew the whistle. And probably a very good call by Jamie Labarge to the referee. The last thing you want is injuries out on the field. Ball is sent forward. It goes off of the head of Langlois, picked up by Hers. She sends it forward, trying to find Juno, but back there defensively for Willsboro is Bordeaux. She deflects it off of Langlois, so it's going to be a throw-in for Willsboro. Ball comes into play. It finds the feet of Nolet. Nolet tries to go to the near sideline. Nice try by Nolet to get Lobdell, but just past her, goes off the sideline. Throw-in for Chazy, and it's Callie Harvey. Harvey with the throw-in. She's about 15 yards shy of midfield, going from left to right near sideline. Ball comes into play. That goes off of McLennan. It deflects off of McLennan. There's a battle for the ball. Nolet wins it for Willsboro. And Harvey comes over to defend, and then Nolet knocks it off the sideline. So throw in for Chazy. And Harvey quickly gets the ball in, trying to find Langlois. She does. Langlois one times it over to McCullough. McCullough controlling. She'll come to the near sideline, and she finds McLennan. McLennan sends the ball forward. It goes off the foot of Lobdell. Throw in for Chazy just inside the offensive zone. And it goes to McLennan. She tries to go forward to find Juno. Ball's chipped up, goes back to McLennan. She one times it to Juno, and it's knocked away by Finley's. But it goes into the open space, picked up by Langlois. She's trying to find Juno. She has it knocked away by Berto. Picked up by McLennan. McLennan to Smith. Smith, nice one-time pass, trying to find Juno. Just gets past her, and it's cleared out by Berto, opposite field. And it's picked up by Hillers of Chazy. She finds Lucas. Lucas goes back to Hers. Hers has some time, now goes to the open space, sends it to the near sideline around midfield, and it's picked up by Harvey. Harvey will send a long shot forward, trying to find Juno, and it's knocked away by Berto. And Emma Smith picks up, or steps up, has the ball, but she has it knocked away by Finley's. Now it's sent into Chazy territory, and it's a little give and go. Back there is Chapman. She comes to the near sideline trying to find Harvey. Gets too far ahead of her. Some nice work by Willsboro. A nice little triangle they were working going down the field. They will get a throw in halfway into Chazy territory. And we are at the 26:44 minute mark, and the throw-in, it will be by Finley's. Finley sends the ball in, it goes off of Smith. Smith sends the ball into the offensive zone. Back there is Juno. Juno trying to control. Juno trying to get by the defense, but a good job by Bordeaux hustling back to defend for Willsboro. She tries to send the ball forward. It goes off the end line. Throw in for Chazy. We're at 26-17. The score is 1-0 Chazy. Shots favor Chazy 3-1. Corner kicks favor Chazy 3-0. Ball is in play. The ball is sent toward midfield. Back there is Samantha Gagno. Gagno for Chazy is now in the offensive zone. She cuts it back from Nolette and gets the ball over to Smith. Smith has it knocked away by Jenna Ford, and it's picked up by Harvey. Harvey one-times it up over to Hers. Hers now on the offensive run, sends it forward. It deflects off of Harrison and onto the feet of Nolette. Nolette being challenged by Hers, and Hers does a nice job taking it away. She takes it away, and she gives it up over to McAuliffe. McAuliffe comes over to the near sideline. She finds McLennan. McLennan has some space, but she just one-times it to the outside over to Langlois. Langlois comes back to McLennan. Nice give and go. Shot from distance. Oh, what a shot from McLennan. That just missed the far post, but some good effort by the Eagles. Checking in for the Eagles is Katie DeMars, and coming in for Willsboro is Mallory Arnold, as well as McKinley Belzile. Coming off is Cleo Laudel, Emma Smith for Chazy, and Gabby Marble from Willsboro. We're under 25 minutes in the first half left. Chazy leading 1-0. They scored in the first minute of play. It was Celine Juno from Langlois. Chazy controlling at midfield. The ball goes back over to Gagno. Gagno one-times it back to DeMars, who is checked into the game. She tries to go to the opposite side of the field. It deflects off of Ford onto Belzile. Belzile with the ball has it taken away from Hers. Hers working her way down the sideline. It's Belzile who just checked into the game, being challenged by Hers. Hers sends it forward, trying to find Juno, but too far ahead. Comes back from distance, and from distance, it was a shot by Hadley Lucas, and it goes off the end line. So we now have a goal kick for Willsboro. And taking the kick for Willsboro will be Crowning Shield. Sends a short kick up. It's intercepted by Chazy's Hers. For McLennan, she sends it over to Langlois, back to Harvey. Harvey one-times it, trying to go back over to McLennan, to Juno, outside to Langlois. Langlois trying to keep it in play, and that will go off of the defense of Willsboro. Crowning Shield, so another corner kick for Chazy. This is the fourth one in the first half. They are leading 1-0 at the George Brendler Field with 23-27 left in the first half. And it will be Hadley Lucas taking the corner kick for Chazy. Another kind of short kick goes up. It lands into the 18. It's kind of bouncing around, and there's a shot, deflects off the defense. So that was defended well, and there's another chance for Chazy, but the ball is kind of like a scrum in front of the net, and it's cleared out by the Warriors. So Chazy put some pressure on, but defended well by the Lady Warriors of Willsboro. Ball goes off to the far side, out of bounds. So a throw in for Chazy. They're going from left to right. They're on the far side, about halfway into Willsboro territory. It will be Samantha Gagno with the throw-in. The ball comes in, trying to find Lucas, and that deflects off of Sawitsky. So another throw-in for Chazy. It will be Gagno. Ball comes into play. It bounces around, and it's picked up by Belzile. She sends it forward, but it's DeMars. DeMars one-times it, trying to find McAuliffe, and that's cleared out by Crowning Shield. And it goes on to Nolette. Nolette goes back, trying to find Belzile, but that goes off the sideline. So another throw-in for Chazy. Gagno again, third throw-in in the row for the Eagles, far side, halfway into Willsboro territory. Ball comes into play. It just gets by Lucas. Back there is Sawitsky for Willsboro. She defends well. She takes it from Lucas, knocks it off the sideline. So a deep throw in for Chazy, deep into Willsboro territory, far side. Lucas. Ball comes in trying to find Juno, and the ball is cleared forward by McDougal. And inside the 18, Juno's trying to get there, and there's a shot from McAuliffe, and that goes off the end line. It's going to be a goal kick. McAuliffe thought it was a deflection. She was looking for a corner kick, and we have a goal kick. And checking in for Willsboro is Emma Becker, and coming out is number 6, Lexi Nolette. Ball is sent forward by Crownshield, taken by DeMars of Chazy. She tries to one-time it. It's pushed back, but it's picked up by hers. She goes to the outside trying to find Lucas. Lucas has it knocked away. Lucas is battling Sawitsky down toward the end line, and that goes off of Sawitsky. So it's another corner kick for Chazy, the 5th one, but this is the first one from the far post. Again, Chazy going from left to right at the George Brendler Field. That is the far post. It is Lucas. Lucas, a hard kick toward the 18. That goes off of Juno, and the kick by McAuliffe goes wide of the net. So another goal kick for Willsboro. We're approaching the 20-minute mark, and at somewhere around the 20-minute mark or close to that, they will have a mask break, as every player out there is wearing a mask for safety here in this semifinal game. DeMars takes the goal kick. She sends it forward to McAuliffe. McAuliffe gets it onto the feet of McLennan. McLennan takes a shot off the end line, so another goal kick, and we're just under 20 minutes. And there's the whistle. It is time for a mask break. You are listening to the Sports Authority of the North Country, Hometown Radio, WIRY 1340 AM, or wiry.com, or you get the app at the App Store. We'll be back in 1 minute. George Brendler Field, we're at the mask break in the first half. There's 19 minutes and 54 seconds left in the first half. It's Chazy 1, Willsboro 0, and it was at the 56-second mark of the first half. Just a wonderful play by Langlois. Sends the ball through. It got under the hands of Bruno, and right there to tap it in was Celine Juno, and quickly Chazy went up 1-0. And I'm with Calvin Castine from Hometown Cable, and George Brendler is in the house. He's in the house that George built, and I'm assuming one of the players gave up one of their passes for somebody, a family member that couldn't make it. And it's nice to see Coach Brendler here at the George Brendler Field watching this game. And if it wasn't for COVID, he'd be here at every game. So it's nice to see Coach in the stands. So the players are coming back out, and they're getting ready to start the final 19 minutes and 54 seconds of the first half. And the ball will be going to, it's a goal kick. So Willsboro with the goal kick. It will be Crownshield taking the goal kick for Willsboro, as she's been doing the whole day. Ball is sent forward. It goes over the head of McAuliffe, but on the feet of hers. Hers one-times it over to Langlois. Langlois tried to find McAuliffe. Goes too far ahead, but to the far side, it is Lucas. Lucas gets to the ball first, gets it back to McAuliffe. McAuliffe sends it on the ground, trying to find Juno. It's deflected by Feinlease into the open space, picked up by Harvey. Harvey in the offensive zone. Slips down as she sends the ball forward, but steps up and heads it back toward Juno, as the ball went back to her as she fell on the ground, but she got it very quickly, sent the ball forward, and Juno takes the ball off of, no, it goes off of Juno, so it's going to be a throw-in, and it's going to be number 9, Kaylee Burdo for Willsboro. Ball comes into play. It goes off of Langlois, so a throw-in for Willsboro. Ball comes into play, and it goes to Feinlease. Feinlease pushes it back. Hustling to the ball was Juno. One-times it over to McAuliffe. She quickly gets it over to Langlois. Langlois back. It goes off of Juno to Langlois, or to McAuliffe, and McAuliffe back to Juno, and Juno left-footed just sends it wide of the net. But again, it was that trio that accounted for the first goal with their pass work, and they almost connected again, and it was just wide of the net. Goal kick coming up for Willsboro. Crowning Shield takes the kick, goes to the far side, goes off of Lucas. From distance, McAuliffe tries to rip a shot, and that goes off of Harrison. And then it's on to the feet of Ford. She sends the ball up trying to find Nolet. Nolet and Chapman battling for the ball, and Chapman wins that battle. Sends it forward, but finally sends it back toward the deep side or end line of Chazy. And nice play by Chapman as she felt the pressure of Nolet, and she knocked it off of Nolet off the end line. So a goal kick for Chazy. So we have Gabby Marble and Laudel checking in for Willsboro. Coming out of the game is Mallory Arnold as well as McKinley Belzile.
Get up. Move to 7.
Harvey will take the goal kick for Chazy. She sends the ball forward, and it goes off to the feet of DeMars. DeMars sends it up onto Hers. Hers has it knocked away by Marble. And it's picked up by Chazy, and it goes forward onto the feet of McAuliffe. McAuliffe working her way down. McAuliffe trying to get a through ball, and offsides was Langlois. So we're approaching the 17-minute mark left in the first half, and statistically speaking, Chazy has outshot Willsboro 9-1. Corner kicks favor Chazy 5-0, and they lead on the scoreboard 1-0. It was Juno from Langlois. So there's a foul on Chazy, and the kick is coming forward by Bordeaux. Short kick goes to Juno. Juno gives it up to McAuliffe. McAuliffe does a step over, comes back trying to find Hers, but she has it knocked away by Finley. Finley sends it deep into Chazy territory. Back there is Chapman. Chapman comes to the near sideline to Harvey.
Right there, Cleo.
Harvey
Right there.
finding McLennan.
Good work.
McLennan knocks it off of Laudel, and quickly the ball comes in, controlled by Langlois. And good job defensively by Bordeaux toward midfield, but a nice job by McLennan. McLennan pushes it to the far sideline, gets it over to Hers. Hers has some space, but being challenged by Harrison. Harrison with some nice defensive play, but she pushes it back to DeMars. DeMars back up over to Hers. Hers gives the ball up to Lucas. Lucas now with Smith. Smith being challenged by number 13, Ford. Ford does a nice job knocking the ball away, and it goes on to the feet of Finley's. Finley's in the offensive zone. It's 11-on-11. Harvey wins that battle. Back to Smith. Smith trying to find Langlois. It goes off the feet of Bordeaux of Willsboro, and open space picked up by Langlois. She goes into the open field. Coming off the line is the goalie Bruno, and good thing she did, because on the weak side was coming hot strong was Hadley Lucas. And Bruno does a nice job to thwart that offensive run by the Eagles. We have 15-14 left in the first half. Chazy leading 1-0 at the George Brendler Field. Harvey gets the ball over to Smith. Smith into the offensive zone. Smith still working her way down. It kind of deflects off of Harrison. Harrison gets the ball to Finley. Finley pushes it back onto the feet of Bordeaux. Bordeaux toward midfield. It deflects off of Jenna Ford, picked up by DeMars. DeMars gets it to Hers. Hers pushes it up to Lucas. Lucas cuts it to the inside. She's inside the box. She gets the shot off, and that just goes wide, far wide for Hadley Lucas. She was coming to the far side, did a nice job, got inside the 18, and the shot went wide of the far post, but just missed. So a nice opportunity for the Eagles at the 14-23 mark. And the ball from Crowning Shield, the goal kick comes in. It is a short goal kick, but she has a wind going in her face, so that's understandable. It is picked up by Finley's, but taken away from behind by Juno, pushes it back to McLennan. McLennan goes down the line as she's trying to find Langlois, but Langlois is defended well. She's defended by Bordeaux. Bordeaux gets the ball up over to Laudel. Too far ahead of Laudel, picked up by Hers. Or Harvey. Harvey sends it forward, but it comes back on the feet of Nolet. Nolet has it knocked away from behind, picked up by Smith. Over to DeMars. DeMars just keeps it simple, one-time pass to the near sideline. Over to Harvey. Harvey pushes it to the outside, keeps it on the ground. She finds McLennan. McLennan can't keep it inside. It goes off the end line or sideline. Throw in for Willsboro, and it was a quick throw in by Finley. McLennan gets that ball, trying to find Smith, too far ahead of her, and Crowninshield sends it forward, but DeMaris is there for Chazy. She one-times it over to McCullough. McCullough at midfield, has some room, they're giving her some space. She'll now turn her way to go forward, sends a long kick, trying to find Langlois. It deflects, picked up by McLennan outside her foot, sends it toward Juno. Juno heads it up to Hers. Hers goes to the outside, trying to find Lucas. As the ball works its way to the end line, far sideline, the speed of Lucas keeps it in. Lucas trying to work her way down. She is defended well by number, I think it was, what number?
17.
17, and I don't have 17 on this roster, so we'll have to find out who that is after. And good job by number 17 defending, but that's a push off on Lucas. So Willsboro will get a kick on the far side.
She's wearing Tommy Heinsohn's number.
Calvin says she's wearing Tommy Heinsohn's number.
He just passed away.
And Tommy just passed away. I did not know that. So we have 12:21 to go left in the first half. And the ball's at midfield, controlled by the Warriors. Now they're into the offensive zone. It's Jenna Ford with 100 goals. And it's Jenna Ford now goes to the outside to Laudel. Laudel one-times it. Back there is Mackenzie Chapman. Comes back, and it is kicked by Laudel. And coming off the line
Good ball, Jenna.
for Chazy was Lazardi. She makes the save, goes to the 18, sends the punt up over to McCullough. McCullough with the ball goes to the outside, trying to find Hers. Hers with the ball sends it forward to Lucas. Lucas will work her way down the line as she is defended by number 17, and that goes off the sideline, so throw in for Chazy. We're at 11:35 left in the first half. It is Chazy leading 1-0. They've played twice this year. Chazy winning both games, 4-1 and 4-0. And now we're in the semifinals of the fall tournament. Ball is at the 18, picked up by Juno. Juno outside to Langlois. Langlois tries to go back to Juno, and there's a shot from distance from McLennan, and Bruno is there. It goes right to her. She'll work her way to the 18. A nice punt by the goalie. Lands on the ground shy of midfield, and Nolette with the ball has it taken away by Smith of Chazy. She gets it to Lucas. Lucas trying to find Juno. Juno trying to control the ball, being challenged by Feinleys. Pushes it back to McLennan. McLennan working her way toward the 18, just outside the 18. And I don't know if it was a shot or a pass, but it went over everybody's head to the far left of the post, and it will be a goal kick for Willsboro with 10:28 left to go in the first half. Chazy leading 1-0. They leave in the shot category 11-2. They leave in the corner kick category 5-0. And I guess where it's more important is the scoreboard. They do lead 1-0. So Chazy has been controlling this first half, and it is now McCullough. McCullough from distance gets a shot off, and that goes wide. So another goal kick coming up for Willsboro, and we are now officially under the 10-minute mark left in the first half. And again, it's a different atmosphere, a very, very sparse crowd for the limitation of fans that can come to the games, and that's just part of the safety factor to get these kids back on the field. And it is in the defensive zone of Willsboro, picked up by Langlois. She's trying to keep it in play. It goes off the sideline. And so a throw in for Willsboro, and it's going to be Nolette, or actually Bordeaux, with the throw in. And McLennan steps up, and she just drills it back out. So another throw in for Willsboro as they're moving the ball down the line. They're going from right to left, near sideline, almost below the press box. It is Willsboro with the throw in, and it's Bordeaux. Bordeaux gets the ball in. It goes off of Langlois. She has it on the ground. Nice job. And it's hit by Crowninshield off of McCullough. McCullough still battling for the ball. And the ball goes toward midfield. Stepping up is DeMaris of Chazy. And we have a foul called by Randy Lozier on McCullough. So Willsboro will get the direct kick, but they're fairly deep into their territory, defensive territory. And the ball is sent forward by Bordeaux. McLennan one times it onto the open space. Juno trying to get there, but hustling is Crowning Shield for Willsboro. She pushes it to the outside, number 17, to get it onto the feet of Harrison. Harrison has it knocked away by Juno over to Lucas. Lucas trying to go back to Juno, and that is knocked out of bounds about midfield. Chazy will get the throw-in far sideline at midfield. It is DeMars. DeMars gets the ball and trying to find Smith. It goes off of her head to the open space. It's now knocked up in the air, now on the ground. It's picked up by Marble of Willsboro. She's trying to find the feet of Jenna Ford, but taken away by Willow Hers. Hers working away forward, sends the ball forward over to Juno. Juno to the outside, finding Langlois. Langlois trying to go back and thought that Juno was going to crash to the net, but the ball went too far ahead of her and it went into the hands of Bruno. She'll work her way to the 18. Punt goes about halfway the distance to the midfield because of the wind, and it goes on the ground, controlled by Chazy. Chapman comes to the near sideline. She finds Harvey. Harvey goes back to DeMars. DeMars finds hers. Chazy keeping the ball on the ground, getting their passing game going. It is hers. She now splits the defense and finds Lucas streaking down the sideline. It's Lucas. Taps it up over to Juno. Juno cuts it inside the 18. Juno has a chance, shoots. It doesn't go off the end line. It had a little spin on it. Picked up by Langlois. Langlois being challenged by Laudel. It's cleared out by Finleys. And we have a foul on Chazy, and it looks like it was called on Langlois. So we have 6:40 to go. Great opportunity for Juno, and I know she'd like to have that opportunity back, but it went kind of wide of the net with some spin on it. It stayed in. Langlois tried to do something with it, but it was defended well by the Warriors. Ball is at midfield. Smith keeps it on the ground up over to McAuliffe. McAuliffe has it knocked away by Ford. Ford sends it forward, controlled by Harvey. Harvey back up to McAuliffe. Ball chips up toward Langlois. Langlois trying to head it up over to Juno, back to Langlois. Langlois to the far side, and the weak side is Lucas. Coming off her line was Bruno, and a good thing she did, because a nice pass by Langlois far side to Hadley Lucas, but Bruno did a nice job coming off the line. It is Gagno coming into the game. Coming out of the game is Langlois with 5:44 to go in the first half. Ball is sent forward, picked up by Hers. Hers trying to find Juno, and that ball is knocked away. Back to Willow Hers. She gets it up to Smith. Smith will switch fields. She comes over to Harvey. Harvey keeps it on the ground. Up over to McLennan. McLennan trying to find Gagno, who's just checked into the game, but it's defended well by Bordeaux. Ball at midfield. It's picked up by Nolet of Willsboro. She tries to come to the near sideline, but she's defended well by Harvey. Harvey with the ball sends it back to the near sideline that she's trying to find McLennan, and that goes off the sideline. So a throw in for Willsboro, and quickly the ball comes into play onto Nolet. Nolet has it taken away from Smith, and it is Chapman. She sends the ball toward midfield, controlled by Crown Shield. She keeps it on the ground, comes back to her, and the ball is up in the air far sideline. It is DeMars of Chazy trying to control, but it's picked up by Jenna Ford. Ford looking to get a shot off, defended by DeMars and Chapman, and now McLennan comes over to help out, pushes it back from distance. It is a shot from distance, and that had a little mustard on it. That was from Finley's, but holding her ground for Chazy was Lizardi. She knocks it down in front of her, works her way to the 18. The punt is up, and it is controlled by Willsboro. Far sideline, Gabby Marble trying to get to the ball on a nice pass from 17, but just out of her reach. So a throw in for Chazy. They're going from left to right. It is DeMars ready to take the throw in for Chazy. If you're just joining us, it's 1-0 Chazy in the first half. They scored within the first minute of play here at the George Brendler Field. Lucas toward midfield trying to find Juno. Juno has the ball, gives it up to McLennan. McLennan now finds Gagno, who's in the offensive zone. She now sends the ball forward, trying to get the speed of McAuliffe, but off the line is Bruno, and she gets to the ball before McAuliffe. She punts the ball up, but it stays on the ground, picked up by Hers. hers, trying to find McCullough. McCullough one time's it outside to Lucas. Lucas trying to cut it to the inside, deflects off onto McCullough, and McCullough has it knocked away by Crowning Shield. And it's at midfield, far sideline, out of bounds, throw-in for Chazy. It will be DeMars with the throw-in for Chazy. Ball comes into play, it goes off of the head of Smith. Smith trying to get her own header in the air, she does. Nice hustle by Smith, pushes it up over to Lucas. Lucas with the ball, turns, trying to find Juno. It goes off of Juno to McCullough. McCullough on the ground to McLennan. McLennan now switches fields to the near sideline to Gagno. Gagno goes back to try to find Juno. Juno rips a shot. It goes off of McDougal off the end line. So a corner kick for Chazy. This will be their 6-1 of the game. They're going from left to right. It will be the near corner post. And Hadley Lucas will come over from the far side to take the corner kick, as she has been doing all game long. So we're at 2:22 left in the first half. It's Chazy 1, Willsboro nothing in the fall tournament. Winner moves on to the championship game. If Chazy wins, it will be here at the George Brendler Field at 2:30. Lucas, ball comes in just shy of the net. It goes off of Juno. So that's a goal kick for Willsboro. There's the call for the 2-minute warning with 2 minutes left. Oh, actually, it's now 1 minute and 53 seconds left in the first half. Willsboro with the goal kick, and it will be Crowning Shield for Willsboro. A short kick picked up by Gagno, and Gagno trying to get into the 18 to Juno, but it's cleared out by Feinlease, so it's going to be a throw-in for Chazy. Gagno, ball comes in inside the box, but it's cleared out quickly by number 13, Jenna Ford. Smith steps up offensively. It goes off to the head of McCullough. She tried to get it over to Juno. It goes past Juno off the end line. So another goal kick for Willsboro. And Crowning Shield for Willsboro gets the shot off. And it goes past everybody into the open field. And hustling is Millette. Gets the ball first. Gives it up to Waddell. Waddell takes it off of the head of McLennan at midfield. But McLennan recovers. Has the ball. And she sends the ball to the far sideline over to Lucas. Lucas comes back toward the middle, trying to find Juno. Nice job defensively by Berto. Berto gives it up to Feinlease. Feinlease goes to the opposite side of the field, far side, to Gabby Marble. Marble with the ball. Send the ball up to find Jenna Ford. Ford with the ball, distance, gets a shot off. And that goes off of the hands of Lizardi with 29 seconds left. So Willsboro's getting their first corner kick. It's going to be the far side. They're going from right to left. It's going to be Jenna Ford. 19 seconds left. And Ford setting up. The clock is winding down. 12 seconds. She sends a nice shot inside the box. This is dangerous. It just goes off the head, wide of the net. And Chazy dodged the bullet there in the last 30 seconds. Actually, the last 12 seconds. As Willsboro gets the corner kick. A beautiful feed from Jenna Ford, but no score on that rush. So the first half has officially come to an end. It is Chazy 1, Willsboro nothing. And we'll be back with our halftime show in 90 seconds toward the end of that first half. So the second half, Chazy will be starting. They'll be going from right to left. And it's Juno gets the ball up over to McCullough. McCullough working away to the opposite side of the field, going from right to left. It's McCullough. Now we'll send the ball up, trying to find Langlois. She does, pushes it back to McCullough. McCullough has it knocked away, but it's picked up by Juno. Juno one times it to the outside to Langlois. Langlois sends it across, trying to find Juno, but Hadley Lucas is there on the weak side. She picks the ball up, but she's defended well by Berto. Berto sends the ball forward, trying to find Jenna Ford. Ford has it knocked away by Smith. Good job by Smith. Now controlling the ball, she has it knocked away by Harrison. Harrison loses it to Lucas. Back to Smith and Chazy. She gets the ball up over to McLennan. McLennan back to Smith. Smith on the ground, keeps it to McCullough. Outside the 18, defended well by the Warriors. Ball is knocked away, and it is Gabby Marble defending McCullough. McCullough wins that battle, trying to go off to the far sideline, but it's picked up by Callie Berto. She knocks it off the sideline, throw in for Chazy. Chazy going from right to left. They're halfway into the Willsboro territory. Throw in for Chazy, far side. Ball comes into play, and that goes off of the foot of Bordeaux. So Chazy will extend their distance down the line by about 20 yards. They're now deep into Willsboro territory, about 10 yards shy from the far corner. Ball comes into play, far side, picked up by Juno. Juno sends it back to Langlois. Langlois gets it on to Hers. Hers just outside the box. She's defended well by Harrison. Harrison does a nice job taking away from Hers, gets it over to John Ford. Ford working away toward midfield, sends a kick out, trying to find Nolette. Back there is Chapman. Calling for the ball is a nice job by Lazardi. Chapman was kind of shielding it. Lazardi was calling for it, so Chapman backed off, let it go into the hands of Lazardi. She'll settle things down, work her way to the 18, and she punts the ball, and that will be short. And of course, her punts will be short this second half as the wind is in her face. So the wind favors Willsboro in the second half. Chazy capitalized in the first half with the win in the first minute, scoring their goal, and that's all we've had for scoring so far today at the George Brendler Field. Ball is at midfield. It goes off of a Chazy player, and it goes off of Langlois, so a throw-in for Willsboro. Far side, it is Nolette. Nolette gets the ball in. She's trying to find Feinlease, and it's controlled by Ford. Ford pushes the ball up over to Harrison. Harrison trying to crack the defense, but Daniel's there for Chazy. She stops the play, gets it up to Smith. Smith does a nice job. Now some open space, goes to the outside, trying to find Langlois, too far ahead of her, and the ball comes into play, throwing Nolette. Nolette gets the ball in, deflects off a player, picked up by Langlois. She kicks it into midfield. Stepping up for Willsboro is Sawitsky. Sawitsky pushes the ball forward, it goes onto the feet of Smith. Emma Smith over to Langlois. Langlois one times it back up over to McLennan. McLennan over to Hers. Hers switches fields, comes to the near sideline over to Lucas. Lucas goes back trying to find McLennan or Hers, and it's knocked away, but it's picked up by Emma Smith of Chazy. Smith working away to the sideline, far side. She now sends it forward to Langlois. Langlois back to Smith. Smith on the ground to Juno. Juno working her way down with her speed. She's trying to get by Bordeaux. She sends it inside the 18. Lucas trying to get a shot off. It's knocked up in the air. McLennan steps up. She heads the ball down, and it's cleared out by the defense of Willsboro. That was Laudel. Laudel clears it out, but it goes onto the feet of Langlois. Langlois gets it inside the box. Lucas gets a shot off with her left foot. Tried to screen Bruno, but Bruno comes up with the play, and she'll punt the ball to the far side as she was trying to find Gabby Marble, and that goes over her head, out of bounds. Throw in for Chazy. Chazy 14 shots, Willsboro 4. Ball in play for Chazy. Ball comes into play. It defends off the Willsboro defense. The ball sent forward by McLennan. Lucas trying to work her way through, has it knocked away. Hustling back for Chazy is Hers. Hers lets Daniel get it. Daniel gets it up to Lucas. Lucas sends the ball to the far sideline, deflects off the defense of Willsboro, and off the weak side is McLennan. She tries to get a shot off, and she knocks it off the end line. So we have a goal kick coming up for Willsboro. Chazy leading 1-0 in the fall tournament. Winner moves on to a championship game on Saturday. And it will be Crowning Shield with the kick. She sends the ball up. It goes off the head of Lucas back toward the 18. Juno hustling inside the 18, trying to get the ball away from Harrison. Juno and Harrison battling. Harrison working her way down. Does a nice job. Turns into the open space. It is Hers. Hers back there first. First trying to make the turn. Hers does a nice job. She gets by Marble. She now gives it up over to Lucas. Lucas back up to Hers. Hers to Juno. Juno outside the 18, turns and shoots. It goes wide of the net. So another goal kick. And coming in is number 17, and I'm going to have to call down to see who that is. Who's number 17 for your team?
Emily Mitchell.
Thank you. Number 17 is Emily Mitchell for Willsboro.
You have one of those bouncers in the box.
She has checked into the game, and there's a shot from distance, and Bruno comes up with it. And I just want to make sure I write this down here.
Play that bounce.
And it's nice to know that number 17 has a proper name. Emily Mitchell is into the game right now. So the ball is in the defensive zone of Willsboro, controlled by the Warriors. Marble now sends it into the offensive zone for Willsboro. Jenna Ford with the ball, far sideline. Now she sends a through ball, gets by the defense, coming back for Chazy, and it gets off the hands of Lazardi, but back there is Chapman and Gagno, and an opportunity for Willsboro as that ball came off the hands of Lazardi. Chazy defended that, and Willsboro had an opportunity, and Chazy did a nice job defending that after it got by the goalie Lazardi. But the ball is back in the offensive zone for Chazy, and it is now cleared out by Crowning Shield onto the feet of Laudel to Bordeaux. Bordeaux working her way up. She has space. She's in the offensive zone. Some nice speed by Bordeaux. She gets up to Jenna Ford. Jenna Ford working her way just outside the 18, shot from distance. And Lazardi does a nice job holding the ground, knocks it in front of her, picks it up. So nice hard shot from Jenna Ford, who has 106 career goals as a junior. And Lazardi was up to the task and made that save. On the quick counter attack, it's Chazy on the far sideline. And it is Langlois takes it off of the defense, off of Bordeaux. So throw in for Chazy deep into Willsboro territory. Ball comes into Juno. Juno turns, sends the ball forward, trying to find McCullough.
Stay tight! Stay tight!
Rips the shot, and that goes off the end line. So a goal kick coming up for Willsboro. We have 32 minutes and 17 seconds left in the second half. It is Chazy 1, Willsboro 0. Chazy beat Willsboro twice this year, 4-1 and 4-0. And it was Jenna Ford with the goal for Willsboro here in Chazy. Actually, it was their first game that they had here. And then Jamie is calling the players over, Jamie Labarge, and he gives a yellow card to Callie Harvey as a foul was called on Harvey.
For what? What's the red? What's the red?
And actually gave her a red card.
What?
I got you. Yep.
What's the red
Yep, I'm
card?
coming over
And
to
the
you, Coach.
officials are coming over, and Callie Harvey got a red card. I thought it was going to be a yellow, and I'm not quite sure.
I did not say that.
So Randy Lozier is talking to Coach Signor, like she's going a red card, trying to understand what took place.
Well, I'm just confused. She's running away this way. I don't know how things are interpreted or told. Could it have been another player?
So I think it was language, is what we're hearing down
I mean, I'd
below.
like to think she's smart enough not to.
And Jamie Labarge is coming over to have the conversation with Signor. So kind of a surprise, a red card thrown in the second half, and that would mean Chazy's playing a person down for the remainder of the game. And we're going to kind of try to overhear what Labarge is saying over to Signor, right below us. And can't really tell. I look over at Calvin. Calvin's got his arms up, like he doesn't know exactly what took place. I'm thinking it had to be language, because there was nothing flagrant out there.
I did not even cuss once.
So well, that's a red card. Now we got Katie DeMars going out. Let me see, 2, 4, 6.
Katie!
Yeah, it's a red card.
Dan, come on!
Okay, DeMars is checking in. Gagno's checking out. That's what I was wondering, because they sent DeMars out, and with a red card, that means you're playing a person down. So she's just making a change, taking Gagno out, putting DeMars in. So, like out of nowhere, this red card came from Jamie Labarge, and the best we can tell up here, it was language. Harvey down below is telling Coach, I never ever would have said that. So, but Labarge threw the red card. So Chazy playing a person down with 31 minutes 45 seconds, and they picked up the energy here, and that might have been energized them. It is McCullough sending the through ball
going out,
down to the
right,
far
go.
sideline, trying to find Langlois, and it goes off the end line, and Chazy quickly just turned on the afterburners offensively after that call. Ball goes off the end line, so it's going to be a goal kick for Willsboro. Chazy leading 1-0. And the development in Chazy, a red card thrown at the 31-minute mark against Chazy, so they are coming again down. And we have a throw in for Willsboro in the defensive zone. And you're going to have Harrison gets the ball in to Nolet, and Nolet takes it off of DeMars. So a throw in directly below us from the press box. We have Harrison taking the throw in for Willsboro with 30 minutes 43 seconds left in the second half, and that goes off of Emma Smith. So Willsboro moves the ball down. Harrison with the throw in. She goes off the feet of Nolet. Nolet trying to find Ford. Ford cutting back on the outside of her foot, gets it up over to Lobdell. Lobdell has it knocked away, picked up by Lucas. Hadley Lucas now cutting to the inside. Now she's working away toward midfield into the open space to Juno. Juno has nice speed. She's working her way down, trying to work away to the 18, but she was defended well by Crownshield to knock away, but it goes on to Hadley Lucas's foot. But recovering defensively to help out was Bella Harrison. Ball now goes off Crownshield. Shipped up high in the air by McDougal. Kind of bouncing around. It goes to Smith. Smith loses the ball. It now goes on to the feet of Nolet. Nolet working her way down, goes to the open space to the near sideline. Coming over to help out is Chapman. Chapman makes the turn on Marble, and it's Chapman with some speed. She knocks it up over to Lucas. Lucas trying to find Juno. One times it to Juno. Juno works her way to the outside of the 18, near sideline. Juno trying to battle, but a good job defensively by Crownshield. Crownshield and Juno. Crownshield again doing a good job, but Juno takes the ball back, tries to rip it off, and that goes off of Emily Mitchell. Throwing for Chazy. They're going from right to left. They're about halfway into Willsboro territory. And it will be Hadley Lucas with the throw-in for Chazy. If you're just joining us, about 8 minutes ago, a red card was thrown to a Chazy player, and it was, the best we can tell up here, it was language. And Chazy is playing a person down with 28 minutes and 51 seconds left. They lead 1-0. But the advantage goes to Willsboro on the field with an extra player on the field. Ball is on the far sideline. And it is Marble on the far sideline. It goes off the sideline, throwing for Chazy. And the ball comes in quickly by Hers. Gets it up over to that'd be Lucas. And that goes to the goalie. And it is Bruno. She boots the ball to midfield. And it gets by everybody. And it's Chapman. She tips the ball up over to Hers. Over to McLennan. McLennan loses the ball up over to Crownshield. Crownshield sends it forward. It's picked up by Langlois. Langlois finds Juno. Juno with the ball far sideline. Has some space. Will now send the ball forward to trying to find Langlois. And a good job defensively by Crownshield. Sending the ball forward. But back there is Hers. Hers sends it to the 18. And then quickly it's sent forward by Bordeaux. Out of bounds. So throw in for Chazy. And coming out of the game is Lucas. Going into the game is Gagno at 27:34. Ball comes into play. Goes over the head of Smith onto Jenna Ford, but Ford loses it to Smith and pushes it back up over to Hers. Hers gives it to Gagno. Gagno trying to chip it up to find Juno. Deflects back to Gagno. She does get it to Juno. Juno switches fields to the far sideline, finding Langlois. Langlois gets a one-timer, and that goes toward the goalie, and the caller tried to deflect it, but Bruno was there. Bruno steps up. Nice kick from midfield that hits to midfield, far side, that goes by everybody. Out of bounds, throw-in for Chazy. 26:51 left in the second half. Chazy leading 1-0. Winner moves on to a championship game on Saturday in the fall tournament. So the ball is controlled by Bordeaux. Bordeaux cuts it to the outside. It goes off of McLennan. So throw in for Willsboro. And the ball comes into play. It's Nolet gets the ball into play. And it's kind of bouncing around. It goes off of a Willsboro player. Chazy with the throw in far sideline or out midfield. It comes into play onto the feet of McLennan. McLennan has it knocked away, sent into the open space, picked up by Hers. Hers sends it on to Langlois on the far sideline. She's being challenged by Berto. Langlois sends it across, and it goes off of Crown and Shield. And there's a shot across the line, the goal line by McCullough, and that gets by everybody. And Gagnon hustling gets a shot off, but it goes right into the hands of Abby Bruno. So some good effort. Chazy playing a person down, and they put a nice offensive run there, but Bruno was up to the task, coming up with the save. That's the 18th shot on net. So Bruno has been busy this game, and she has stepped up to the task. And we have the ball out of bounds.
Go ahead, please.
Whistle for a substitution, and it is going to be Hadley Lucas is going into the game. They're going to give DeMars some rest. They're moving Gagnon back to the defensive position along with Mackenzie Chapman. So the ball is in the far sideline into Willsboro territory. McLennan sends the ball forward trying to find Juno. It's cleared out by Feinlease. And the ball is knocked away by Crowning Shield to the far sideline. A good shield from Chazy, quick throw in, and it's Juno. Juno sends the ball in, trying to find McCullough and Lucas inside the box, and it's cleared out. Good job defensively by Willsboro, and that would have been McDougal. McDougal clears it out, controlled by Chazy. It's Lucas. Lucas keeps it on the ground, trying to find McLennan, but too far ahead of her. The ball's cleared toward midfield. Back there is Chapman for Chazy. Chapman sends it forward, and it is now sent into the open space. Casavan sends a big kick into Chazy territory. Back there is Chapman, but it goes off the sideline halfway into the defensive zone, and it will be Willow Hers with the throw-in for Chazy. Ball comes into play, trying to find McLennan. McLennan sends the ball up into the air, far sideline, trying to find Langlois. Too far ahead of her off the sideline, so a throw-in for Willsboro, and checking into the game is going to be Mallory Arnold as well as McKinley Belzile. Coming out of the game is Cleo Laudell as well as Gabby Marvel. Ball in play, picked up by Feinlease. Feinlease goes down the line, and it is Hers. Hers for Chazy, gets it up to McCullough. McCullough working away to the middle of the field. It is McCullough to the outside, back to McLennan. McLennan now sends it forward, finding Juno. Chazy keeping the ball on the ground, trying to find feet. It is Juno. Juno defended well by McDougal. McDougal takes it off of Juno, throwing for Willsboro. And it will be Bordeaux with the throw-in for Willsboro. She goes down the line, trying to find Belzile. And it goes off the sideline, throw-in for Chazy. Willow Hers will take the throw-in. And it's picked up by Juno. Juno to McLennan. McLennan to McCullough. McCullough chips it up, trying to find Juno on the far sideline. And it's Juno trying to keep it from going off the end line. Sends it across. Does a good job hustling to the end line. The Willsboro player thought it was going to go off the end line, and Juno with her speed came across, sent it toward the goal, but it was Bruno who was there to intercept that cross, and she punts the ball quickly, but it goes out of bounds far sideline, throw in for Chazy. 22-24 left in the second half. If you're just joining us here at the George Brendler Field, it is Chazy 1, Willsboro 0. Chazy playing with a person down at the 31-minute mark. There was a red card, so Chazy is playing short-handed, 10 players to 11, but even down 10 to 11, they are controlling the pace of the play, and it was almost like they got energized when their teammate was taken out of the game. But now it's Jenna Ford. She takes that ball, she sends a long kick, trying to find Nolette. Nolette is defended well by Chapman. Chapman with the ball comes to the near sideline, trying to find Gagnon. It goes off the end or sideline, so throw in for Willsboro. And it's like Willsboro's trying to play for that opening. It is Ford who has a strong leg kick, sends it forward, and trying to get the Nolette, trying to break her through. for a breakaway, but it was defended well by Chapman. It is Gagno. Gagno chips it up high into the air, and hustling for the ball is hers, and it is to the feet of Juno. Juno tries to go back to hers, and it's picked up by McKinley. Belzile has it knocked away. Juno trying to get to the ball, but Feinlease is there. Ball is into the deep end of Chazy's defensive end. It's Chapman. Chapman turns, sends the ball forward, finds Juno. Juno now in the offensive zone to McCullough. McCullough with her speed trying to get around McDougal. McCullough will send the ball across. Nobody is there, and back there defensively for defensively for Willsboro is Mitchell. Mitchell tries to clear it, but it's picked up by Lucas. Lucas trying to turn, trying to find Juno, goes past Juno, and now it's cleared by McDougal. Stepping up is Smith. Smith goes to the far sideline, defended well. And the ball comes to the near sideline by Feinlease, trying to find Mitchell, but it's picked up by Lucas. Lucas trying to get by Mitchell. It's Lucas, pushes it down back to Smith. Smith can't control the ball, it goes to Mitchell. Mitchell pushes it up to Nolette. Nolette gives it up to Jenna Ford. It's Jenna Ford in the offensive zone. Back there is Chapman. Jenna Ford coming over to help out is Gagno. She sends it across. She was trying to do the little give and go to Nolette, but defended well by hers to defend Nolette. Nolette on the far side. But it goes off of a Chazy player, so throw in for Willsboro. So some nice playing by Jenna Ford to Nolette, but Chazy defended well. And at 1946, we are now doing our mass break. So you are listening to the Sports Authority of the Few Reasons, and the players have taken to that, and they've had a wonderful season. They adapted very, very well. But around the 20-minute mark, they do take a mass break, and it's 1946 left in the second half. And I do say left in the second half. The score is only 1-0 Chazy. Chazy is playing a person down as a red card was delivered at the 31-minute mark for language. Willsboro, far sideline. Ball comes into play. They are going from left to right, so they are in the offensive zone. Ball is pushed out to Harrison. Harrison trying to get a shot off, but Chapman's there for Chazy. She just stops it, one-times it over to McCullough. McCullough quickly gets it to Juno. Juno trying to one-time it by McDougal. McDougal defended that well. Goes back to Juno. Juno working her way up the field. Now she's being defended by Berto. She's trying to get by Berto. She does get by Berto. And she sends the ball across, but it hits side net. So just great defense by Berto containing Celine Juno for Chazy, and defended her well, and Juno got toward the end line and tried to send it across and hit side net. So goal kick for Willsboro, and the kick goes to the far sideline, and they were trying to find the feet of Gabby Marble, and that goes by Marble. So we're going to have a throw in for Chazy, and they forgot to stop the clock. They forgot to start the clock.
No worries.
So
1904, please.
So Randy Lozier, the Hall of Fame coach or referee, is just below us. And
That's okay, it happens.
Lozier comes over and says, please put the clock at 1904. And so that adjustment has been made. So the ball comes into play, and it's McLennan. McLennan trying to turn away down the line, but defended well by Marble. Ball goes to the open space. It's picked up by McCullough. McCullough on the far sideline. She is being challenged by Marble. It's McCullough. But still, if the ball comes over with a simple pass up over to Emma Smith. Smith now tries to go center to McLennan. McLennan gets the ball. She turns, chips the ball up, trying to find Langley's on the far sideline. But it's defended well by Nolette. Nolette sends it toward midfield. Back there is Chapman of Chazy. She keeps it on the ground and sends the ball forward, but it's picked up by Willsboro toward the center of the field, far sideline, and it's not toward the Chazy or the Willsboro net, but quickly sent back toward midfield. Smith trying to battle for the ball with Ford. Ford and Smith. Ford has the ball, she turns. Now she works her way up the field, trying to get the through ball, trying to find Nolette. Coming off her line, way off her line, is Lizardi, and Lizardi kicks the ball up, and it was a short kick onto the feet of Feinlease. Feinlease tried to get a long shot off, and it is Lizardi comes up with the ball as a shot was high in the air. She let it short hop it, and she picked it up. But Lazardi was way outside the line, tried to clear the ball. It was a short kick. It went on to Feinleis, and Feinleis couldn't get the kickoff that she wanted. But there was an opportunity there potentially for Willsboro, but Chazy dodged that bullet. The ball quickly goes down into the Willsboro territory. It goes off of McCullough. Willsboro going from left to right, far sideline. The ball is thrown in play, but it's picked up by McLennan of Chazy. McLennan one times it up over to McCullough. McCullough to the outside to Langlois. Langlois trying to come back to McCullough. McCullough pushes it back to McLennan. McLennan gets the shot off, but it's wide of the net. So a goal kick for Willsboro. The stats for this game so far tonight, as we approach under 17 minutes, is 19 shots on goal for Chazy, 7 for Willsboro, 6 corner kicks for Chazy, 1 for Willsboro, and Chazy leading 1-0. But they are playing a person down as a red card was thrown at the 31-minute mark left in the second half for Language. Ball is in play, and it's picked up by Feinleis. Feinleis sends the ball forward. Smith of Chazy knocks it away from Marble. And stepping up for Chazy is Langlois. She sends it back to the defensive end onto the feet of Hers. Hers controls, then she gets the ball up over to McLennan. McLennan trying to get it back up over to Gagno. She loses the ball, and it goes on to Ford. Ford switches fields, trying to find Marble. Marble battling with Chapman on the far sideline. Chapman does a nice job taking it off of Marble, throwing for Chazy. Ball in play. And it is Hers. Hers sends the ball to the near sideline. Finds McCullough. McCullough to McLennan. McLennan to Juno. Juno will now work her way up. She now sends a through ball. Nobody there for Chazy, and the ball will work its way into the hands of Abby Bruno. Bruno will work her way to the 18. A nice punt from Bruno. That just misses forward, bounces into the offensive zone for Willsboro, but back there is Chapman. Chapman quickly sends the ball forward, trying to find Juno on the far sideline, but it was defended well by Berto. Berto has it knocked away into the open spot, picked up by Emma Smith. Smith in the middle of the field, trying to find Lucas. Lucas with the ball, pushes it back to McLennan. McLennan now sends it forward, up over to Juno. Juno switches fields, goes to the far sideline, over to Langlois. Langlois trying to find McCullough. McCullough keeps hustling, it deflects. That just missed the post. It was defended well by Willsboro, trying to clear it. It deflects off of McCullough and just misses the post, and Willsboro dodged the bullet. Goal kick comes up halfway to the far sideline, picked up by Marble. Marble can't control it, so a throw in for Chazy, and quickly the ball comes into play to Juno. Juno, far sideline, working her way down toward the end line. She will now turn, looks to serve, nice serve, and off the line, and McCullough goes jumping into the air with Bruno. Bruno knocks it on the ground, and it's picked up by the defense outside the 18. Smith trying to get it back inside the box, gives it to Lucas. Lucas gets the shot on, scores! Hadley Lucas scores at the 14:06 mark, and I think Bruno was screened on that shot, but Hadley Lucas from Smith at the 14:06 mark, and Chazy goes up 2-0, and playing a person down, scores that second goal, and that's a very important goal with under, 14:06 to be exact. So Chazy has a little cushion as they're trying to punch their ticket to the championship game on Saturday. And it is picked up by Juno. Juno gives it to McCullough, and here comes Chazy again, and it is McCullough, and McCullough takes down Mitchell. Call against Chazy as Mitchell gets up, and the call goes forward. Lucas gets that ball. She now gives it to Juno. Juno just outside the 18. She's looking to get a shot off. It goes off the outside of her foot. Weak side was Langlois, and she takes it off the end line. So Chazy up 2-0. The official call is Hadley Lucas from Emma Smith. and it looked like Bruno was screened on that shot, and it was Lucas going to the far side of the net and finds the back of the net, so Chazy goes up 2-0. So some nice effort by the Lady Eagles playing with a person down. And like I said, when the player was taken out of the game, they became energized. It was almost like, okay, we have to rally behind our teammate. And they've been doing that, and the efforts paid off as they scored the second goal at the 14:06 mark. We are now at 12:48, and Chazy is still putting the pressure on. And what I see up here is they're playing like they're trailing 2-0. They're putting the pressure, they're not letting up, playing the person down. And Emma Smith, who has the assist, gets a shot from distance. It deflects inside the box, and off the line is Bruno, and Chazy players were just around her, and she did a good job corralling that ball, because if she didn't, you had Juno, McAuliffe, or Lucas ready to pounce on that ball. And Bruno sends the punt up. It goes to the far sideline. It goes out of bounds around midfield, and quickly the ball comes in, and it is Smith heads the ball forward, trying to find Langlois, and it's picked up by Hers. Hers gives it up to McLennan. McLennan, with some space, chips the ball through, and nice job defensively by McDougal. She sends the ball to the near sideline, and she finds the feet of Marble. Marble gives it to Ford. Ford back to Marble into Chazy territory, and it is Gagne. Gagne one-times it into Willsboro territory onto the feet of Harrison. Harrison takes it toward midfield, gets it to Laudel. Laudel has it taken away. It's off the head of Gagno. Gagno trying to find Lucas, and it's knocked away by Bella Harrison. Harrison gets the ball up over to Feinlease. Feinlease to the outside, up to Marble. Marble working her way down, chips it into the 18. Off the line is Lizardi, and no danger there. So she'll slow things down, let the players get in place. We're at 11:09 left in the second half. The punt is in the air, and that short hops onto the feet of Juno. Juno gets it to McAuliffe. McAuliffe, a short pass back to Juno. Juno picking up some speed, working her way to the 18. It's Juno trying to get by the defense, but a good job by McDougal. She hustles back, gets the ball to Langlois. Langlois to Juno. McDougal does a nice job, takes it back away. Gets the ball up over to Feinlease. Feinlease sends it forward onto the feet of Jenna Ford. Ford to the outside, trying to find Marble. Marble streaking down to the far sideline, but Willow Hers is defending. Hers wins that battle. Hers now sends it to the open space. It is McLennan. McLennan comes back to the near sideline, finds Lucas. Lucas now cuts it to the middle. She's at midfield. Now she's in the offensive zone. She gets it to McAuliffe. McAuliffe working her way down. McAuliffe getting a shot from distance, and that will slowly work its way into the hands of Bruno as she was being converged on defensively by two players, Mitchell being one and McDougal the next. Quick punt toward midfield, and the whistle is being blown, and there was a foul on Willsboro. So Chazy will get a free kick. They're just shy of midfield, and the ball comes forward, and it is picked up by Jenna Ford. She takes it to the outside, trying to find Marble, and that deflects off of the Chazy player. Smith, quick throw in by the Warriors as they trail 2-0, under 10 minutes left in the second half, and it is Smith. Smith gets the ball up to
Girls, you gotta work back.
McAuliffe takes it to the outside. McAuliffe will now turn it up. She's being defended by Feinlease. She gets by Feinlease. It is McAuliffe gets the ball over to Langlois. Langlois has it deflected away, but stepping up is Smith. Smith from distance rips a shot, and it goes into the hands of Bruno, and that's the 23rd shot of the game. Chazy out shooting Willsboro 23-7. Lead them in the counter kick category 6-1, and they lead on the scoreboard 2-0. Ball is at midfield. It's controlled by the Warriors, but then Smith comes over to defend, trying to take the ball away from Feinlease, and Smith does a nice job. She has an assist. It is Smith. She sends the ball forward, finds Juno. Juno working her way down, chips it up, trying to find McAuliffe into the 18. McAuliffe turns and gets a shot off, and it goes into the hands of Bruno. So Chazy is anywhere near that 18. They're just firing at the net, but Bruno is up to the task. She sends a kick up onto the feet of Jenna Ford. She traps it, turns, long pass, far sideline to Marble, and Gabby Marble can't get there in time. goes off the end line, so we have a throw in for Chazy with 8:22 left in the second half. Ball is going toward midfield. Finally, for Willsboro is there. It goes off of a Chazy player. It goes off of Langlois. Quick throw in. It comes into the feet of Harrison. Harrison one time's it trying to find Marble, but back there for Chazy is Hers. Hers gets it to midfield to McCullough. McCullough trying to find McLennan. And McLennan goes down. And Jamie Labarge is there to call a foul on Willsboro. So it's a kick for Chazy. It will be a direct kick. They're about 5 yards shy of midfield, far sideline. And Hers sends the kick up quickly. It deflects off of Findley's toward midfield. Chapman for Chazy is there. She's now in the offensive zone. Chapman comes to the near sideline, finds Lucas. Lucas with the ball, has some space, goes toward the center of the field, trying to find Juno. She does. Juno with the ball is being defended well by Harrison. Juno looking to switch fields. She goes to the outside trying to find Langlois. Langlois cannot get to it in time. Goes off the sideline, throw in for Willsboro. We're now at the 7-minute mark. Chazy leading 2-0. At the 31-minute mark, they've been playing with a person down as a player was ejected for a red card. And the story we got up here, it was because of language. And so Chazy was leading 1-0 at the time, and it was like they were energized to rally around their teammate, and they came and scored a goal at the 14:06 mark to take a 2-0 lead. Right now, Chazy is controlling the pace of the play. It is inside the box. Chazy trying to get a shot off, but again, Willsboro has been defending well all day. They've had 24 shots on net and only given up 2, so they've been doing a good job getting shots from distance. And here's a through ball and a nice play. They're trying to come to the near sideline to Nolette, and the ball was just, it was from Jenna Ford, just a little too far ahead of her, but she was defended well by Gagno for Chazy, and it is, or I should say Harvey, and Harvey will send the ball forward to McLennan, and Chapman looking to clear the ball outside the 18. She does. It goes off of the back of Findley's. Findley's gives it up to Ford. Ford will look to get a shot off from distance, defended well by number 17 Smith. Ball's kind of bouncing around. Chazy looking to control. They do. They push it to the outside. But it goes up to Berto, who's up in the offensive zone. Has it knocked away by Juno. Juno chips it up to McCullough. McCullough's trying to find that opening. She tried to get around McDougal. McDougal defended that well to knock the ball away. If McCullough gets by McDougal, she's in on a breakaway. McDougal defended very, very well. It is Juno sends the ball forward. It goes off the head of Crowninshield to the outside, but it's controlled by Chazy. Crowninshield again sends it to the outside. It is Juno for Chazy. Juno has the ball, knocks it off of Bordeaux, and it's going to be a throw-in for Chazy. Stepping up for Chazy is Hers. Hers gets the ball in play. Again, that goes off of Willsboro. So we have Langlois down on the far side, about halfway into Willsboro territory. We are at 4:47 left in the second half. Chazy 2, Willsboro 0. It is McLennan pushes it back up to Langlois. Langlois working her way down the line, and that deflects off of a Willsboro player, and that looks like it's going to be as deep of a throw as you can get it. Hit the flag, but went on the outside, not the end line. Thrown in for Chazy. Ball comes into Juno. Juno working her way down the end line. Juno trying to defend, and that will work its way off the end line. It will be a goal kick for Willsboro, as we are now at the 4-minute mark left in the second half. It's Chazy 2, Willsboro 0. Winner moves on to the championship game Saturday. Ball is in play. It is Hers, far sideline. Chips it up over to McLennan. McLennan does a nice job keeping the ball. She will now send a through ball, trying to find McCullough or Juno, but it's again defended well by the Warriors. And that would be a foul on Langlois, a push from behind, so Willsboro will get a direct kick pretty deep into their territory as we approach the 3-minute, 30-second mark. Ball comes forward. shy of midfield, picked up by Lucas. Lucas heads the ball down to her feet. Lucas trying to get the through ball to Juno. Juno cuts it to the outside. Juno trying to get a shot off. It's Juno rips the shot, and that just goes over the top of the net. Some real nice footwork on Juno, was inside the 18, turned and ripped the shot. It just went over the crossbar, top of the net, and a goal kick for Willsboro. Quickly, they're trying to get the ball in play as they're trying to at least get a goal to cut the lead to 1 with 3 minutes to go. But again, it was defended very well by Chazy. It is Lucas. Lucas is battling Lobdell. Ball goes out of bounds off of Lobdell, so throwing for Chazy, and there's no big rush to get this ball in. Emma Smith will come up for Chazy to take the throw in, about halfway into Willsboro territory, and she sends it down the line. It deflects off of, Mitchell deflects it off of Hadley Lucas, and now the ball comes to the open space. That will work its way out of bounds on the sideline. Throw in for Chazy. Smith will come to take the throw in. We're approaching the 2-minute mark left in the second half. Chazy 2 minutes away from punching their ticket to the championship game. It is Chazy's Juno trying to send the ball across. Again, it's picked up by Jenna Ford. She goes to the open space. Coming up is Chapman for Chazy. Chapman sends the ball forward, and it's pushed back to McLennan. McLennan goes to the outside up to Langlois. Langlois trying to get to the ball, but back there is Bordeaux. Bordeaux sends the ball forward into the open space of the defense of Chazy, but back there is Chapman. Chapman calmly sends it back into Willsboro territory onto McLennan. McLennan turns trying to find Langlois, has it knocked away, and we have a stop of the clock, and Jamie Labarge wants to talk to the 2 players. One would be Langlois, and the other one is, it looks like Bordeaux. So I gave them each a yellow card. I had a conversation with them, and they got to come off at least for the next whistle. So we have 1:32 left in the second half, and we're just going to have a drop ball, it looks like, as Labarge is making notes of who got the yellow cards. So we've had 2 yellow cards and a red card in this game, with 1:32 to go. And the ball will go to Willsboro. They will get the kick. So on contact, with 1:32 on contact, the clock will start.
Right there.
And they're waiting for the official's whistle. And the game is on. Ball sent in the air. It's off the head of Smith. Smith to midfield to Juno. Juno, a through ball to McAuliffe. McAuliffe working away toward the 18. McAuliffe with some nice speed, some good defensive effort, a good effort by Sawitsky to come back to help out defensively, put the pressure on McAuliffe, and she takes it off the end line. So a goal kick for Willsboro. We are now approaching the 1-minute mark, and barring some kind of miracle, Chazy will move on to the championship game on Saturday. That game will be at 2:30. Their opponent is yet to be determined. That game is going on as we speak. So we'll find out soon enough. But the ball's at midfield. It's picked up by Gagno. Gagno to Smith. Smith pushes it back up to Hurst. Chazy comes into this game as the #1 seed in this tournament. Willsboro is the #4 seed, as they had a play-in game against Seton Catholic and they won that game. And here comes Chazy. McLennan sends the ball across to McAuliffe. McAuliffe looks to rip a shot. She does. And Chazy, the whistle must be offsides. It looked like Chazy was ready to score with Juno. And it was offsides, is what it looks like. And the game is officially in the books. You are listening to the